This is the limestone lowdown. Hear the sound when you lie to the issues all around. From every corner, let's make it clear. The change we need is starting here.
Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Limestone Lowdown. Today we're going to do kind of a special episode. Really, it's about one agenda item H on the September 8th, 2025 City Council meeting.
Yeah, so one of the things that over the last year that we've started going is that they don't provide enough detail information on this, and it's very much, to me, it looks like that they're trying to keep information a secret. And again, they have the business meeting the first 30 minutes, and then they go into the regular agenda. This particular meeting, I was not able to be there until the actual meeting. And you even text me during the middle of it, because we talked about this agenda item. We're like, what are we reimbursing him for Leadership Alabama for $3,250? He only makes $1,300 a month. We're paying 2.5 months worth of salary for a leadership class. Is this a setup to be the next mayor? Is this a way to say, hey?
Look at his great resume, but don't look at his what he's doing in real life.
So after the city, because you text me that, remember that?
Yes.
We had it.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Reimbursement, as in, we took it as it had already happened. And that's kind of what we're wanting to talk about today. This has not happened yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's paid for it. And the city's, I guess, reimbursing him because I guess
correct.
Looking at the process.
Well, back to what you were saying about how the stuff flows. It's usually they've gone and then it's the reimbursement after the fact is how, it will say, I guess we should have known in the wording of it, so-and-so went to said conference. This is a reimbursement of that. You know what I mean?
Well, normally there's not a reimbursement. Normally it's they pay for them to go.
Well, you get what
it's
it's
an
not
agenda item to say, hey, this is the approval to pay this off because it was used on a city credit card.
All I was saying is generally it's after the fact. The person is already gone to said whatever by the time it gets to the city council.
And then also it's used with the city credit card. That's the way that I see it, is that, it's funded through, potentially, I'm not sure, because we do send council members to trainings. I mean, we've seen Dana, Mr. Lucas, we've seen that. So anyways, it just kind of was a red flag, is we're reimbursing him. So he's already paid for it. And then it was for Leadership Alabama. So it was
what is that?
Are we sponsoring him? Is he a representative of the city? I get it. He is one of the main decision holders for every decision that's made in the city. But at the end of the day, he's only a part-time employee. So why is the city funding something for a very minimal part-time position?
And thousands of dollars.
And
it's not it's a $500 conference or something.
I get it. And I guess this is where, if I were to sit and talk to any city council person, we would just have to agree to disagree. At the end of the day, you get paid to attend 2 meetings a month. You're supposed to do your own due diligence and research and ask questions, but what we've seen is that the sausage making goes on behind the scenes, and that these meetings are a rubber stamp thing. And half the time, even Mr. Wells, who is my favorite city councilman right now, even sometimes he seems like he's lost and doesn't even know what he's voting on. So it leads to even more questions are they part of the actual sausage making and the decisions? It makes me wonder. So anyways, we saw this large amount for Leadership Alabama.
$3,250.
Right. And so we started looking into it. And
well, do you have it pulled up? Would you like to tell what is Leadership Alabama?
So I just, they have a website. It is, let's see, Leadership. The program year will launch Wednesday, October 15th in Montgomery and continue through May 2026. During the year, the class will convene in Birmingham, Huntsville, and Mobile, where it will hear challenging presentations and participate in class discussions that encourage critical, thoughtful assessments of our state and its issues, both challenging and successful, while learning of some extraordinary initiatives that are addressing those issues. Ashley Kaplan, Executive Director, added, Alabama always benefits from the collective actions initiatives borne by this proven group of leaders, and once again, it's an honor to assemble such an esteemed and diverse cohort of passionate and experienced professionals from throughout all regions in Alabama. We look forward to welcoming this class members at regional luncheons and receptions across the state the next month. Be sure to watch your email for invitation to join us in your area. Oh, I wonder if we could even attend the one in Huntsville. Wouldn't that be funny?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they would love to see us there. So, let's break it down a little bit. Okay, so it sounds like it's kind of an honor to attend this. It's kind of like an exclusive group.
Yeah.
Well,
Senator Katie Britt's husband is also part of this upcoming class. I found that to be very interesting. There was a few people from Huntsville, various companies across the state. There's a Gunnersville City School. There's people from various entrepreneurial and political positions like throughout.
But I guess the question is, we don't know this for sure, but I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you. So this isn't something like Joe Blow could sign up for. It's kind of something you have to be recommended by, sponsored by.
The way that it reads, and again, I don't know. I looked it up. It says the nomination forms, Leadership Alabama is open to all who meet the qualifications adopted by the Board of Directors, regardless of age, sex, race, religion, or national origin. Participants are selected largely on the basis of demonstrated leadership ability. A nomination form must be received by Friday, February 28th, 2025 for a person to be considered.
So this has been in the works a while.
Well, it appears that the nomination form
had to be in by February.
So it's 6 months.
This is 6 months later? Mm-hmm. We're just now getting to the...
Yeah. So August 28th would have been 6 months from when the application was put in. Yeah. And I think that they announced, it also says that you will have received an email by May 21st. And so I guess that...
Still 3 months that this has been on the horizon. And
yeah, because then you have to pay your fees and you have to pay all that. So.
But didn't you in the research, didn't you find out that most of the people were celebrated that they got made it into this class? Is that my understanding?
Not most of them, again, because we didn't know much about it. I Googled it. There is a website. They don't have a public Facebook page saying, hey, come follow Leadership Alabama. There's a private group with less than 300 people that's in it. So the way that it appears is that it appears that the group is for
members only.
Members. And again, not right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah, no, we're not saying that.
Well, I just don't want people to try to dissect that I'm say anything about that, but it's just it appears that it's kind of where they keep each other updated on upcoming events, past events, maybe even just for connection purposes.
Yeah, like a class group.
Yeah.
Perfectly
and
understandable.
People that are involved and things like that. But there's not an actual page. But when you search it, and I'm sure that y'all know about how searching it kind of pulls up stuff that tags it in. There are several people that whoever is sponsoring them, representing who they represent, have done shout outs hey, congratulations to so and so for being selected for this class, for this Leadership Alabama. Well, of course, crickets here in Athens, right?
Of course.
And then city council meetings, we know that there's, number one, not a lot of people attend, not a lot of people watch, and even if you do watch, you may just be watching for one or two specific agenda items. This is very easy.
Ronnie Marks gave him that shout out. He said it's an honor.
Yeah. But, what I'm saying is that Ronnie Marks didn't put it on, the City of Athens public relations page.
No.
And because, there was even outrage that, his name wasn't even on the ballot to not vote for, right? People were I wanted to just not vote for him so that
The
he could
undervotes,
so
yeah.
you could see how many
Like there was 1,000 votes for mayor, and there was like
200 for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So understood.
So, but the city council meetings, like, number one, a lot of people don't listen. A lot of people aren't engaged. So if you listen in, very few people are actually going to like hone in on that. So this is something that's very easy to get overlooked. But I take this personal. I mean, I look after Ronnie Marks won, right? Well, even before that, people reached out to us. I mean, dozens of people have reached out saying, well, I've heard that Ronnie Marks is going to step down when Chris Seibert becomes council president. Mm-hmm. So we've known, and I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, right? Like, we've also heard from numerous people that, for lack of better terms, that we kind of threw a kink in their plan, that the plan was to always run Chris Seibert.
And then people started finding out about what was going on in North Athens.
Well, I think that was like, uh-oh.
Well, no business license first. And then that led to the, oh my God, these houses look really, really bad.
Well, I think it's not even that. I think it's just bringing any sort of attention to him.
And then, just the other day, Mr. Wilson caught some people of questionable legal status illegally doing work on another one of his houses, and Eric Waddell had to come out and put a stop work yet again.
That is like the third or fourth time that they've done a stop work.
And this is a man that's supposed to represent the city and is still not following proper city business.
Like he is blatantly giving the middle finger to the very city that unfortunately he is elected to represent.
1/5 of.
1/5 of, right. And he wasn't even on the ballot this time.
And and that's because people were, scared of everything that, the repercussions.
No, I'm not even going to say that. These are not desirable positions. These are almost like a low profile, like if you're part of, I guess, like for like secret society almost, like just in the last year in like attending city council meetings, doing public records requests, asking questions, it's very apparent who they allow in. I mean, let's talk about the 2040 map. There was somebody that said, that they were diving into the 2040 map. But Mark Wilson requested that map, and it took them months to give him a copy.
Basically had to threaten them.
Yeah. It had to threaten that, hey, this is public information. Had to put Senator Arthur Orr on the email saying, you have to give me this, and you have to give this to me in this amount of time. And then they charged him for it. So it's almost like if somebody's looking at a 2040 map, how did you get it? Number one, did you have to pay for it? Did you go through the records request? Because it's not just out there.
But you can't just look at that. You have to look at the one before that. And then you have to go back to 2013, too.
I know, but I'm just talking about the
surface level.
I'm
saying is you can't just dive into the 2040 map. If you did, you would be missing a large part of the picture. It's like it's like a Triforce. You have to put them all three together.
I get what you're saying.
So
what
that's all I'm saying.
Going back to the secret society, and just like at city council, people get up and the people that they converse with, the people that that paints a pretty picture for them for campaign season, for whatever reason that makes them look like they're compassionate, they allow them to talk for 7 or 8 minutes. But it's like the moment that you have any sort of disagreement, they read a public statement that, like, we don't have to answer you. Now, I will also say at the county level too, they do public speaking in the beginning. They do public comments first, and they will tell you that they're not going to speak either. I know, like, I think it's like the county engineer and the county attorney will interact some, but they'll basically say, like, hey, we'll talk after this, or email or whatever. But I mean, I think that is pretty standard. But that to me is almost like a disclaimer and a blanket statement that if they don't want to engage with you, then they don't have to. But if it makes them look good, then they will.
Exactly. I mean, it's very easy. I feel like to make somebody at least feel like their problem is relevant, I could not care whatsoever, but I could still say, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We'll look into it. It was some kind of lip service, but we don't even get that.
Well, not anymore. Well, we never did,
No.
because we tried to do that in the beginning. I mean, having conversations with people before we even went to city council meeting, and the way that we were treated. And then now it's like we're these bad people for literally asking questions and to try to have a conversation out in the public. So anyways, just to say that as far as like the agenda goes, this item, like Ronnie Marks gave kudos, like this is a huge honor, an honor that you chose for him. Like, let's not act like that Leadership Alabama hand selected him. No, somebody had to put in an application. And then that goes back to you looking at, because it's on their website too, the list of applicants that were selected, and he's got Calm Therapeutics, City of Athens. I think Raymond James, there was another view that I had on here where it's got Raymond James listed as like an investor. Okay, so February 28th, he might have, again, you just have to have the applications in by February 28th, right? So whatever the window is, so maybe he still works at Calm Therapeutics. Maybe. I know that based on conversations, even with our attorney, because we were anticipating a lawsuit essentially, and then we heard from numerous people that either he was forced to resign or fired. And again, these are just rumors that, because of the negative, publicity that he was getting with
his houses
being called a slumlord
and non-business license.
Yeah. And so from numerous people, we heard that he no longer works there. And then also based on his LinkedIn, it says that
he no longer
works there.
So it's not like we're making up stories here.
Right.
You can go look it up. LinkedIn.
And then he also now works at Raymond James as an investor. So how you go from being a CEO of a medical device company. And I think that, he's been involved in like several like medical device like startup companies. I think that like he's been part of like 4 startup companies.
Something like that.
And so again, I think that he's got a resume from a professional perspective, but I think that when you become a city councilman and you see this as you're getting to control the future of this city because you have so many business endeavors with the city. That's where the conflict of interest comes in, is that you have so many real estate investments from a business perspective and from a real estate investment.
And it would be, let's say it would even be it would still be questionable if they were great houses, but the fact they're really crappy houses and you're subjecting people to this level of living in them that's not acceptable, and then you add on top of that you never had business license intentionally.
Well, you choose to not have it. And I think that's the thing. Like, if you were an upstanding citizen who set the platform and said, hey, I'm going to have these business ventures here, but I'm going to follow all the rules, because basically you're enforcing rules that rules for thee, not me.
Yeah.
Or do as I say, not as I do. That's the appearance that it gives off. But even I question him, the ethical ability to be a city councilman, just because of his business ties. So he is voting on the very foundation of how the city is going to grow.
And even if he abstains, he knows how everybody else is going to vote. So,
well, yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's not like it really matters you're abstaining.
And then his hands are in the pot, so he knows all of the people, so he can choose to, again, it's not even about, in my opinion, it's not even about like abstaining or being part of, it's just that you are in that pool of people. And so you are able to make those decisions that affect you, your friends, not your friends. And so it's
But basically, to kind of like wrap it up, we just think that he does not deserve this. Ronnie Marks should not have recommended him. And here's where you, the people, come in, you listening. We will provide the email address, and you can email this organization and voice your opinion if you do not believe, as we do, that he should not get this honor.
Yeah, if you would like that email address, you can just send us an email at thelimestoneLowdown@yahoo.com.
There you go, Yahoo.
Yahoo. So it's just one of those things that we were like, we need to do an entire episode on this because, number one, this was just a blip on the radar for an agenda item. And after diving into it, number one, you had to be nominated. Number two, maybe by the time the application got in there, he still worked there, but he no longer works there. So to me, he's like falsifying information on who he's representing.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, this is a very, very part-time position. And if you're representing something based on this part-time position as a city councilman, and then you've done illegal business in the very city that you live, it's very questionable.
I just don't want this to come as a resume enhancer for somebody that doesn't deserve it, and to set him up as an unelected next mayor, quite frankly.
For whenever Ronnie Marks decides to step down.
Exactly. That's what it boils down to.
And then as we close, this is something that has really weighed heavy on our heart the last few weeks. You know, we have got very strong beliefs for how we feel about business that's being done. But we've been silenced from every sort of platform, so we've kind of had to start our own. There was an organization at the Veterans Museum that we gave a shout out to our county officials for, helping the Veterans Affairs Office. And we were contacted through basically a third party that they were approached and said, how dare you talk to somebody with a podcast? Please, if you're listening to this and you're part of the county, don't take this and go attack them again. That is disgusting. It's very sad that people are not able to voice concern or any kind of opposition. And again, I don't, because it is something that is so emotional, and you try not to get angry about it, but basically you're fearing people into submission to speak out. And for what?
And there wouldn't be anything to it if you did what you were supposed to start with. You know what I mean? Like if the building was taken care of to a certain level, there wouldn't be an issue. And then people have to take it upon themselves to do that, or they basically get like beat down for trying to reach out for help.
Yeah, and also let me again reiterate, we have not talked to the person. This is like third hand, so please, that this doesn't mean go talk to him and again threaten him. He was not threatened, but do not take this
scolded.
Yes, scolded.
How about
That's
we'll
a better
use that word.
Please don't take this as we directly talk to him, because we
haven't talked to him.
And that's
again.
another reason why we were kind of hesitant to mention it, because we don't want to get him in trouble or scolded. But again,
yeah.
Because he was like, look, I was just trying to get some help. Like, I didn't want them to come after me. So it's just very disheartening. And the fact that we even said, hey, thanks so much for helping our veterans. Like, at the end of the day, that's what this is for.
Exactly.
And it's very disheartening knowing that there is so much divide that's being here. Like, the divisiveness is...
Well, it goes back to doing what's right. If you did what's right, nobody would have to say anything. And then if you have to be like coerced into doing what's right, I mean, if this is the only avenue to allow that, then so be it.
Yeah,
but come after us. Don't come after them.
But scolding an innocent person.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
It's just, anyways, again, that's just something that really has laid heavy on our hearts, because it's like, man, that's not at all what we were trying to do. We honestly didn't even say anything bad. I mean,
we gave them a shout out.
And a shout out. This was on the legislative update. It was at the very beginning, within the first like couple minutes, that we were like, hey, thanks to the county. And again, we don't even know who with the county that went over there. We don't know. But from our understanding that somebody went over there and was like, don't talk to people, I got a podcast. We didn't talk to him. I mean, Jared did have one conversation with him. Very nice guy. But again, we didn't go over there with intentions of calling anybody out or using this as for negative. It was just like, hey, if we've got veterans that are literally using the bathroom on themselves because of this setup, like, hey, like, let's help our veterans. This wasn't about
simple paint around another parking space to create another handicap spot.
I mean, it's
simple
just,
stuff.
Yeah,
we're not talking thousands of dollars here.
And it's just like we have been almost turned around as like
troublemakers.
Troublemakers. And troublemakers. And so that's just something that really laid heavy on our hearts, that we just kind of wanted to give that like disclaimer that please don't come after these people. Like, for again, this goes back to, this is why people are afraid to speak out. This is why people, don't say anything, because there is this stigma and this fear that people are going to come after you. And it proves just that. And so, anyways, we really appreciate you all listening. And until next time, guys.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Limestone Lowdown, where we break down the issues, keep you informed, and give you facts straight from the source. Remember, your voice matters, your vote counts, and your community thrives when we stay engaged. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay involved. Until next time, keep questioning, keep advocating, and keep shaping the future of the Limestone area. We'll see you on the next Limestone Lowdown.